I'm not sending this story for attention. I'm sending it because I need proof that what happened was real. My name doesn't matter. You can call me Aaron. For 6 weeks, I lived alone in a fire lookout tower deep in the Oregon wilderness. No road access. No nearby towns. No cell service. Just trees, fog, and the stairs. If you're listening this on Bella Dark Tales, it means I finally decided to talk. Because whatever was climbing that tower didn't stop when I left. I never applied for the position. The email came from a legitimate forestry address. Seasonal maintenance contract. Fire watch backup. The pay was higher than normal. Too high. At the bottom of the email was a PDF labeled Night Protocols. That should have been my warning. The last line read, "If you hear footsteps on the stairs after midnight, do not respond." No explanation. I told myself it was wildlife. Wind. Old metal expanding. That lie didn't last long. The tower sat on a rock spine overlooking miles of forest. No ladder. No elevator. Just a narrow spiral staircase bolted to the mountain. About halfway up, the air changed. It felt watched. Not from the forest. From below me. I stopped climbing and listened. Nothing. But when I started again, I heard metal flex beneath my boots. As if something heavier had just stepped off. Forests are alive at night. Crickets. Wind. Birds. This one wasn't. By midnight, the silence felt thick enough to press against my ears. At 12:43 a.m., the first sound came. Clang. One stair below. Then nothing. I waited. Clang. Another step. Slow. Intentional. Not an animal. I stayed still. The climbing stopped. Minutes passed. I shifted slightly. And immediately. Clang. That's when I understood. It wasn't climbing randomly. It was responding. When I stayed still, it stopped. When I moved, it continued. Like it was listening for permission. At sunrise, the radio crackled. Before I could report anything, the operator spoke quietly. "You heard the stairs." It wasn't a question. He continued. "Listen carefully. It only climbs when it knows you're awake. Don't give it confirmation." I asked what it was. Long pause. Then, "We don't name it." That afternoon, another email arrived. Updated night rules. No lights after midnight. No speech after midnight. No movement during climbing sounds. If scratching begins, prepare to evacuate. If it reaches the hatch, leave everything behind. I stared at the screen for a long time. People don't write rules like this unless someone already died. The second night started earlier. 11:58 p.m. Clang. Clang. Closer. Then I heard breathing. Not animal breathing. Controlled. Patient. Like someone waiting for me to mess up. I held my breath. My chest burned. The breathing stopped only when I nearly passed out. On the fourth night it spoke. Not loud. Not threatening. Curious. Aaron. My name. I never gave it on the radio. The voice came from below the hatch. And from the radio. At the same time, that's when I realized the tower itself was helping it. In daylight, everything looked normal. No scratches. No damage. But halfway down the stairs, I found hand marks. Not prints. Indentations. Like fingers strong enough to bend metal. And they were climbing upside down. On night 11, it didn't climb. It charged. Metal screamed. The entire tower shook. Something slammed into the hatch so hard dust fell from the ceiling. Then silence. And a whisper. "Why are you hiding?" Fog rolled in thick. I opened the tower door just enough to look. It was clinging to the tower exterior. Upside down. Limbs bent wrong. Face stretched into something that tried to be a smile. Its eyes reflected my lantern like animal eyes. It whispered, "Come down." I ran. I slid down the mountain, cutting my hands, tearing skin. Behind me, metal screamed again. But it never touched the ground. It didn't need to. Weeks later, after quitting, my phone buzzed. Unknown sender. A single message. "You left the light on." That night, I dreamed of counting footsteps. Still climbing. If you ever work alone somewhere high, and you hear something climbing, don't acknowledge it. Because it's not trying to reach you. It's trying to learn you. And once it does, it doesn't need the stairs anymore.